Change Your Mind, Chrissy Hines.
Are you living the life that you feel like you have to live? Or are you living the life that you want to live? They sound like the same question, but there is a huge distinction between the two. Are you living the life you're obligated to, in survival mode, in safety mode? Or are you living the life of a dream that you're chasing after? I asked myself those two questions less than a year ago, I believe, because I began living in a negative spiral. I had actually moved my business down to Denver, chasing after the life that I wanted, but yet I was lonely, I was stressed all the time, and I was becoming angry and bitter. When I feel those negative emotions all of the time, it sends off a light bulb in my head. That means something has to change. The mind is a powerful thing. Because I have a brain disorder, I know that the mind can be manipulated, and it can manipulate you, and it can really convince you of things that aren't real. But we're lucky. We have the ability to change our minds. And it sounds so easy. It is so difficult. When I asked myself this question a little less than a year ago, alas, I was not living the life that I wanted. And I thought, what do I do? I'm going to take this step to change my mind. So I thought to myself, what can I do to start small? I have OCD. I can't change much. We'll take those little rituals, put them over here, and not mess with those. But I thought, I can change my routine. This was the first step towards going towards the life I wanted. Now, routines are funny. When I moved to Denver, I knew I needed a routine. Sometimes you need a routine to feel safe, to feel in control. When I moved to Denver, I was out of control. I just started a business, I didn't have any friends, so I thought, get the routine in place, then things will start to happen. It's a positive thing. But the tricky part is that routines can be dangerous. If you stay in them too long, you start to become negative because it breeds complacency and being stagnant. Tony Robbins says, he's one of the greatest inspirational speakers of our time, he says, if you want to raise your standards in your life, change the routine. I didn't know that less than a year ago. I wish I had. It made things a lot easier for me. But what that means is the power is in the routine. He's saying if you want your life to be better, make small adjustments in your routine, and all of a sudden things start looking differently. You start feeling differently. What did I do to change my routine? A few little things here and there. I was pretty nervous. But two big things come to mind that changed my life. I took the first step and I joined Cherry Creek Toastmasters. I was terrified, but I did it. I also got a second job in a restaurant as a bartender. I thought, I'll just do these two things. If I don't like it, I'll just pull back and go back into my little safety zone. Those two things changed my life. First of all, the job gave me a little bit of extra cash, but it also gave me the ability to work with a team again, to be able to socialize in an environment that was fast-paced, and I could find out what I was good at again. Cherry Creek Toastmasters gave me the opportunity to socialize with wonderful people and find strengths that I did not realize I had. These are two things that propelled me towards going towards the life that I wanted. I started to find these little pockets of confidence inside of me. And this is what happens when you change your routine. You start to remember there are great things that happen with you are. We are not meant to be stagnant. we are meant to change and grow. When you change your routine, all of a sudden, other things happen. Like the second thing that propelled me towards the life I wanted. I started to dream again. I started to visualize. When you're stagnant, all you see is a narrow line straight in front of you. You don't see anything around you. Remember, you know how when you ask a kid, or remember when anyone asked you when you were a kid, what do you want to be when you grow up? And you watch their face. I want to be a fireman. I want to be a teacher. I want to be a politician. Maybe not. Why is it that their face lights up? Children are dreamers. Children know creativity. As we get older, the world closes in on our creativity. But we can take that back just by changing our minds. The Buddha says, today is the product of our thoughts yesterday, and in the present, we are building our future tomorrow. Our life is a creation of our mind. The mind is a powerful thing. When you visualize what it is you want, you start walking towards it. When you stop visualizing, you stay stagnant in one place. So when I changed my routine, and I started visualizing what it was that I wanted, and I could see the picture in front of me with all these new little pockets of confidence I had, a third thing happened that was probably the greatest of all. All of a sudden, gratefulness started flooding in. Sometimes when we get stagnant, we forget to look around at the people in our lives. We forget to look around at the beauty surrounding us, especially here in Colorado. We forget the little things to be grateful for. Because when you stay in a routine, you see the same things every day. You feel the same things every day. You do the same things. And we need change. In order to visualize what we want, we have to start being grateful for everything around us. Our mind is a powerful thing. If we are constantly focusing on negative, we're pulling negative in. When we focus on positive, we're pulling positive in. Why? Our thoughts attract other thoughts. Positive attracts positive, negative attracts negative. Why is it so easy to believe the negative? I'll give you an example. You buy a new dress, you go to a party. 10 people come up to you and say, "You look fabulous. That color's so great on you." One person comes up and goes, "You know, that dress makes you look kind of fat." What are you going to focus on? The 10 people or the one person? It's easier to focus on the negative. I have a mailman who comes around to Cherry Creek. He's been doing his route for 30 years. Talk about routine. He is one of the happiest people that I know. He comes in and tells me stories. He's a quirky, chatty kind of fella. He comes in and shows me one day this bead he had found on the ground. "I'm going to give this to my daughter." And I said, "Man, that's so beautiful. How'd you see that?" He said, "Oh, the sun reflected it, caught my eye." And I said, "Oh, that is so fabulous." He said, "Chrissy, I have boxes of these things." And I said, "How do you find these? Do you just look on the ground?" And he said, "If you just take the time to look around, you'll find the treasures are everywhere." I am going towards the life that I want because I chose to. I changed my mind. Dave Matthews in Ants Marching said, "Take these chances. Put them in a box until a quieter time. Lights out, you up and die." Take the chance. Go after it. Change your mind. The mind is a powerful thing. Make a slight change today towards going after the life that you